For the past 1 week, I have been riding the Thunderbird as my daily commute, so it really gives a lot of neck pain and shoulder pain. It's a bit too much. But why I am comparing my neck and shoulder pain with the Thunderbird, that too for just a week? I have ridden it for like 400 kilometers of a stretch and I really didn't feel anything. But why this 1 week of a ride is giving me some troubles? Maybe the design of the bike has to deal with long range and shorter distances? Well, I think so. Let's get into the video and take a brief look about how it is and what it is. You may wonder, whatever the type of bike we use, we will be into back pain and some other effects in the longer run. But based on the type of bike you use, there are some short-term effects that will be in place right after a week or a month, like shoulder pain, neck pain, backache, and things like that. You may also refer my previous video where I subject the Meteor 350 as a long-range cruiser. I wouldn't have said that Meteor as a street bike in any part of the video because the purpose and the posture of the rider for their riding comfort is purely focused on long range riding. Also, there are some perks which will make you to use it in the streets in a comfortable position, like the handlebars modulation, but it is more focused on long range riding, and this is purely based on the type of chassis that's designed for that bike. First, let me take you to the models that are available in the roads, because whatever the type of vehicle you may choose, it will come under these 4 classifications, and those are moped, commuter, sports and tourer. These are the base classifications of a motorcycle. You may take any motorcycle for example. You can easily subject that into one particular segments in these 4 classifications, and based on the riding angle and the posture that it gives to the rider, it can be easily subcategorized into furthermore that we will see in this video. So let's first start from the beginning, the moped. The moped category is simple. If there's a space provided like a dicky, then it is called a scooter, and if it has not been provided, then it is a moped. Let's just don't dig deep in the moped section, because obviously most of you already know what is a moped and what is a scooter, and most probably you will not be here particularly for that. So let's just dive straight into the section where most people will get an idea about commuter. Almost 70% of the motorcycle segment comes under this classification, ranging from entry-level motorcycles of 100 plus cc to naked sports below 900 cc. The bikes will be classified as a commuter only till 900 cc, because after that it will reach to a litter class where the wheelbase and the weight and everything will be adjusted based on the power delivery of the bike. So it will be really tough for anyone to use it as a commuter, so that's why. I hope you understand. Like the motorcycle segment got classified into 4 subcategories, the commuter gets subcategorized into 3 more segments. Those are called roadster, cruiser and street. In that subcategory, cruiser gets into chopper, bobber and classics, whereas the streets get into scrambler and naked. Roadster models are particularly designed for entry-level riders. These will be easy to use, easy to maintain, also will be cost effective. The power delivery in this will be a subtle one, but it will be sufficient enough to make your ride swift and nimble. So you will get enough power to ride it in the city and to make it use of your commercial purposes as well, by providing a better comfort in riding for short-term distances and better maneuverability with lesser weight and easy handling. For example, you can consider all the entry-level segments like 100cc to 200cc bikes, which has the posture inclination of about 80 to 85 degree. Second, cruisers. Cruisers are really heavy on par with the roadster models. Also, it will come with pulling even more cost out of your pocket when compared to the roadsters. The cruiser models will not be so swift and nimble like the roadster models, but it will be so heavy. It may look like a rat on par with other motorcycles like ADVs or super sports, but the heaviness, the weight, it will be like a minimum of 180 to 200 kilos for every classics and every cruiser models basically. It will not be so quick and nimble like the roadsters, but it will give you better comfort than any roadster can claim. So these are made for some commercial commutings like going to college, office and shopping malls as well, the same purposes, but you cannot carry any luggage or any weight along with you while riding like how you could do it on a roadster, because it will eventually be heavy and it will be difficult to maneuver with some other weight included. So those are all the things that you have to take in mind when you are planning to use it as a commercial vehicle with some weights or some transportation that you are planning to do it in. So the cruiser models are basically built based on the character that it delivers, and most probably it depends on the class that you will get out of it. And in that models where the classics are basically the street versions of the cruisers, and bobbers and choppers are basically the highway versions of the cruiser models. That's how they are designed. So based on the distance of the riding that you will do in it, you have to select whether you should go for the classics or the chopper or the bobber. Coming to the street bikes, it is basically the combination of the roadsters and cruiser models combined. It will have the power delivery like the roadster, but it is more based on the character of its swagness and the comfort that it will offer. Obviously these are priced higher than both or on par with the cruiser models, but you will get the benefits of both the previous models in it, with the power delivery that will make your ride more swift, more nimble and as well as comfortable. As it comes with the swaggy character, it also pulls money out of your pocket like a cruiser, maybe even more than a cruiser, but the swag you will get will be worth it. For example, from Duke 200 to all the way up to Z900. The street models do get classified as naked sports and scrambler models. The scrambler models are basically the street versions that can be used to descent around. So that concludes the commuter section, and now we are moving on to the touring section. Here the tourers get classified as highway tourers, ADVs and sports tourers. Highway tourers is a segment that's classified only based on the luggage space that it provides and the posture and the comfort that the motorcycle gives while riding. Though it is heavily packed, it will not be quick and nimble like any other roadster or street bike. The riding position and the posture will make you to feel relaxed in your entire riding, and it will be really difficult for anyone to maneuver in the city, because obviously you may see here how highway tourer looks like, and based on the position and based on the weight that it will have, it will really be a tough task for anyone to maneuver it in the city. And for a note, it has a reverse gear. If you are someone who is planning to do only highway rides or for longer distance with utmost comfort that you want in a motorcycle, and you are ready to spend more in it, like literally more in it, like about 40 to 50 lakhs in a bike, then highway tourer is really an option for you. And I think that line concludes my pros and cons about it. Now moving on to the ADVs. These are the gem of the motorcycle that every tourer would prefer to have in their garage if they are touring in the motorcycle often, because these are the type of motorcycle purposely and perfectly built for any type of terrain and any type of climate. These motorcycles will be quick, this will be easy to maneuver, this will be comfortable as well, and it provides a lot of luggage space. So based on this particular character, it nails at every point of touring, and that's where the cons lies too, because you cannot use it as a commute unless you are hurting your shoulder and neck due to its riding position and the visibility that you will have in the bike. Then the sports tourers. These are the segment of motorcycles which are made for the moto enthusiasts to ride often and to have a luggage space, to encourage the super sport riders to get into practical touring, as it comes with a lot of power. It will be quick, it will be nimble, and it will not provide the comfort of an ADV, but for a highway touring, when you can't afford segments like highway tourers, you can really go for a sports tourist with a little bit compromise in the comfort. So if you are someone who is looking for a motorcycle to use it as a commute, then it is best for you to look in the commuter section, and if you are looking for something that's more preferable for touring, then it is better to look in the touring section, because combining these two and interfering in the purpose of these two will eventually bring a lot of trouble only to you. So decide whether you are going for the commuter or for the tourer based on your purpose. And there are n number of options from entry level to top end. Everything has those three segments, and based on your budget you can easily switch what is your preferable motorcycle in that segment. So that leads us to the last segment of the motorcycle, the sports. From the initial design to everything that it has as a stock, it is completely focused on tracks and nothing else. From the riding posture to the power delivery that it will give, it is completely for speed and swag. The design itself makes the rider to avoid the wind blast due to the speed that it will give, to duck it under the windshield, or to lie down on the petrol tank. That's why the handlebars will be like this. It won't be straight, or it won't be comfortable like a cruiser model. It will be like this, where your entire body will lean on your wrist. So the design itself is to make sure whether you are riding it fast and using it as for shorter distances. If you have the will, you can do it for the longer distances, but you cannot rely on that for a longer period, because you will eventually get to face a lot of troubles in your body as well as in your mind too. So this is the reason why it has a sturdy suspension than any other models, because you don't need any soft suspension in the track, right? So eventually the suspension will be heavy, and it will be really tough for anyone to bear the back pain over the longer period if you are using it as a tourer, because you really have to rely on your wrist and back. That concludes us to the purpose of this motorcycle, where it is meant only for short-term purposes, and you really have to avoid it for longer ranges. The longer you are in it, the more you will suffer. Example of this motorcycle range, or from the entry level, it is R15 to all the way up to every motorcycle like even the Ninja H2 or BMW S1000RR. This sports section has also three sub-classifications. Those are cafe races, super sports, and then dirt. In brief, you can classify every models based on the posture that you will get out of the motorcycle. For example, take a sports motorcycle where you will be made to lean over your tank, and your inclination angle will be really like 45 degrees to the max. In that case, you will be forced to see only the track, I mean only the road. You cannot see longer distances without hurting your neck. And when you take an ADV, for example, you will be in an upright position, and it will be really hard for you to look what's right in front of your front tire. So that means the short-term sight is really a tough task in ADVs. If you don't want to add everything in your mind, like what's a commuter, what's a scrambler, what's a street bike, and what is this and what is not, then just take the posture in your mind. Just go and sit in the bike. What you feel it, how you feel it. If you are made to sit aggressive, that means it is meant for short-term rides. But at the same time, when you are made to sit in a comfortable, relaxed position, those are meant for highway riding, I mean for long distance riding. So riding a Himalayan or a 390 ADV is as your daily commute is absolutely your choice, but the consequence like butt ache, neck pain and shoulder pain, that you cannot easily avoid even in the shorter run. When you are using your bike on contradictory to its purpose, then you will face the effects pretty soon and quite often. Choose your bike wisely and just know your purpose, like why you are going for a bike in the first place, what you are expecting from the bike, and what you are willing to make out of it. So just get clear with these concepts and apply that with the best bike model that suits you. So thank you for watching. If you liked the video, then drop a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, then drop a thumbs down, and please state in the comment section why you didn't like it. And if you have any comments, please comment it down as well. And that's it for today. Let's see you in the next video. Bye.